Hello, welcome to Salisbury Cathedral and to the reflection for today, the 26th of July. I'm Robert Sitley, the Cathedral's Canon Treasurer, and it's very good to be with you today on what is, I think, my 60th daily reflection. And I'm offering this on the third day of the Tokyo Olympic Games. I enjoy this every 4 years, or indeed it's been a 5 year wait for the Olympic Games this year. The Olympics have a particular character to them in the world of elite sport. If football or rugby is your thing, everything's about the build up to a big game, and for that 80 or 90 or more minutes you drop everything to watch, or perhaps to listen on the radio. Certainly drop everything if you're going to watch it. If test cricket is your thing, well, the matches go on for days, so they're just there and you can dip in and out of them. The Olympics are more like an extreme version of British weather. You get a sudden storm, you get gusts of wind, a burst of sunshine, then sheets of lightning, claps of thunder, a cloud burst, and then sun again. Repeated, varied stimulus, catching you unawares, distracting you perhaps when you should be doing something terribly important, but somehow less interesting. And of course, because the Olympic Games are 9 hours ahead of us in the UK, in Tokyo, all these things are happening at weird times, or many of them are. Today, which the journalists are already calling Super Monday, I woke up to Adam Peaty's gold medal on a phone alert. I got back from morning prayer just a bit before 8 o'clock to hear Daly and Lee getting their diving gold on the bathroom radio. 10 minutes later, I scurried down to watch their medal ceremony on the TV, only to discover that the cameras were on Tom Pidcock, who was closing in on his gold medal on the considerably frightening mountain bike course. And then at lunch, it was Taekwondo and Lauren Williams. A silver medal, an amazing achievement for this teenager, though she will still, I fear now, still be thinking about how very close she came to getting the gold. Lauren Williams is a remarkable story. Back in 2012, when she was a little girl, she watched fellow Welsh woman Jade Jones take gold in the London Olympics at 2012 and decided that was the sport she was going to follow. She showed promise, and her mum gave up a lot to give her a fighting chance. That was actually the name of the talent scheme she went into, of achieving her potential. Her mum even moved away from Wales into a caravan near Manchester so that her daughter could easily attend the GB Academy in that city. The story of Lauren Williams and her mother's sacrifice reminded me of the Olympic Games of 2004 in Athens. I was actually at a couple or so of the events because I was on holiday in Greece that year. I remember queuing for hours for tickets for the badminton, and finally entering an entirely empty badminton venue. Empty, that is, apart from, as I remember it, something over 100 cheery and very noisy Indonesian fans, and far over to our left, a knot of Brits. We spotted their Union Jacks, they spotted ours, and they called us over. And so it was for a couple of hours. I had the great privilege of sitting among the families of the Great Britain badminton team. Their stories were remarkable. Travelling the world, following, supporting a son or a daughter with no financial help in meeting the cost of all those tickets and hotel bills. And years before that, night after night of ferrying their offspring through the rain to nights of training, drinking long cups of tea in styrofoam cups, waiting for the training to end. and those early starts on weekend mornings to transport them to some distant under 14 championship somewhere. And other teams around the world will have these same stories of parents, teachers, scout leaders, and let's not forget the less sporty brothers and sisters, all of whom have had to give up things so that they, the talented, whom we marvel at through our screens and through our radios, so that they could receive what they needed to achieve their potential. There's actually something similar in the experience of the families of our choir, our choristers, the boys and girls of our choir. They are able to do the wonderful thing they do as wonderfully as they do it to a great extent because of the sacrifices that are made by the households in which they are growing up. Olympic events often present to us towering individual achievement, but individual is a little misleading. No one achieves anything really significant all by him or herself. And less privatised cultures than our North Atlantic culture acknowledge this, celebrate it quite openly. The Yoruba saying has now become a complete cliche: it takes a village to raise a child. Less well known is the Zulu saying, Umuntu, Ungamuntu, Ungabuntu. A person becomes a person because of people. Now, we'll hear the truth of these sayings expressed daily, no pun intended, as we hear the lists recited by medal winners of all the people that they owe it all to. And we may hear again something I vividly remember from the 2012 Olympics, a piteous catalogue of all the people that a particular athlete said he had let down by failing to perform as well as he thought he should have. Acknowledging this mutual dependence is one of the necessities of life. The Olympic Games show in a vivid way how this is a personal necessity. The much bigger stories in our news at the moment, those signs all round the world of a climate in distress, show us that this mutual dependence is not only personal but political and planetary. The Spanish mystic Catherine of Siena once said that God had spoken to her and that God had told her, I could have made human beings in such a way that they each had everything, but I preferred to give different gifts to different people so that they would all need each other. That mutual dependence is a necessity, but good God, isn't it also a virtue? Because in that mutual necessity lie the roots of friendship, comradeship, neighbourliness and love. I preferred to give different gifts to different people so that they would all need each other. Thank God that God did. God bless you and goodbye.